Having an immaculate physique is essential to cut it in the world of football. While most players are ripped and love flaunting their abs, there are a few players who don't have the most striking of physiques, but have still enjoyed successful careers. So today, we're going to talk about players who were physically not the best, but ended up being legends of the game. Number 1. Ahmad Mito. Ahmad Mito was definitely one of the best strikers Egyptian football has ever produced. With an immense frame, combined with great technique, the striker had a promising start to European football at Ajax, where he was the teammate of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. However, Mito's career was plagued by inconsistency, poor attitude, and fitness. In the last 5 years of his playing career, the Egyptian struggled with excess weight, which impacted his performances, and eventually forced him to retire at the age of 30. Number 2. Gennaro Cefuik. Cefuik was a Dutch youth international trained at the excellent PSV Eindhoven Academy. The forward was always a very physical presence up front. However, he clearly never pumped enough iron in the gym because his fat-to-muscle ratio was never befitting of a modern-day athlete. By the time he was 25, the Dutchman appeared larger than an average footballer, less mobile, and struggled to play 90 minutes. After managing just 7 games for FC Emmen in 2017, the former Netherlands under-21 international retired from the game due to mental health-related issues. Number 3. Mickey Quinn. Mickey Quinn is a former player who spent a major chunk of his career at Newcastle United in Portsmouth. Mickey was a very good center forward back in the day. In fact, during his time at Newcastle, there was a chant about his rotundness which went something like, "He's fat, he's round. He scores at every ground, Mickey Quinn." In fact, the chant was a response to a harsher chant from opposition fans who always shouted, "Who ate all the pies," every time Quinn touched the ball, but that never stopped him from scoring goals. Mickey scored 227 goals in his career, never represented England, and earned nicknames such as Sumo and Hippopotamus. Number 4. Kevin Pressman. Like Mickey, Pressman also spent a lot of time playing at a top level but never managed to represent England. However, he did amass over 400 appearances for Sheffield Wednesday. Even for a goalkeeper, Pressman was a big boy, and we're sure he never said no to more food. But that did not stop him from chasing a man for 15 miles. Apparently, a guy stole his Mercedes in 1998, and Pressman was relentless in his pursuit and did not stop until the perpetrator was arrested. As they say, never underestimate the power of a fat person who owns a Mercedes. Number 5. Neil Ruddock. In an era when hard men of football were given legendary status, Neil Razor Ruddock managed to enjoy a great career with very limited ability. Ruddock went on to play for England and spent good spells at Southampton, Tottenham, Liverpool, and West Ham. In 1995, he helped Liverpool win the League Cup, which goes on to show you that just having abs is not the only answer to win some silverware. Number 6. Andy Reid. Andy Reid was quite a good football player. He was blessed with great technique and a very cultured left foot. At the peak of his powers, Reid was never the sort of player who had time for spending a few minutes in the gym, always a stocky presence. Reid had 8 good years in the Premier League and was also a regular for the Ireland national side. He represented them at the 2016 European Championship, and even though he never really won anything of great significance, the fact that he spent almost a decade playing in such a difficult league proves that an extra layer of fat around your belly should never stop you from achieving your dreams. Number 7. Mehdi Ben Slimane. Unlike his surname, Mehdi Ben Slimane was not a slim man. The former Tunisian international debuted for his country at the age of 20, and his performances were enough to warrant a long stay in Europe, where he spent time in France and Germany, representing the likes of Marseille, Freiburg, and Borussia Mönchengladbach. And even though his physique was always that of a part-time footballer, Slimane enjoyed great success in Europe and also represented his country at the 1998 World Cup. Few Tunisians played in Europe at that time, so Ben Slimane can be considered as something of a trailblazer. Number 8. Paddy Kenny. The English goalkeeper had a very long and respectable career in the Premier League. However, the main reason why he never got a serious look in for England was because of his weight issues. In fact, his former manager Neil Warnock revealed that the moment he met Kenny, he put him on a diet because the player was used to eating burgers, pizzas, and chips all in the same day. Since he was never going to get a call-up to England, Kenny eventually decided to switch his allegiances and ended up playing 7 times for the Republic of Ireland. With 619 games in total, Kenny retired as a very experienced campaigner and also won the Football League Championship for Queen's Park Rangers in 2011. Number 9. Evan Valenciano. Evan spent pretty much an entire career in South America, which is why not many people have heard his name. However, he was a regular for Colombia and represented them at the 1992 Olympic Games and the 1994 World Cup alongside the legendary Carlos Valderrama. In a 19-year career, Valenciano represented 16 clubs and once flopped miserably at Atalanta. However, he did score 13 goals in 29 games for his country. Number 10. Jan Malby. For sure, Jan Malby is one of the finest footballers Denmark has produced. He was a gifted central midfielder who spent 12 years of his career at Liverpool, where he won 3 league titles and also made the 2006 list of players who shook the cup. The Dane is considered one of the greatest players in Liverpool history. His technique was superb and passing ability unmatched. Malby was often a stocky presence, and weight became a real issue once he turned 30. But that never stopped him from enjoying a good period of greatness and footballing excellence. Number 11. Jeroen Verhoeven. People at the Ajax Academy rarely make a mistake, so the fact that Verhoeven graduated from there means that he must have been good enough. The goalkeeper was always on the fat side, which is why he spent most of time in Amsterdam as a backup goalkeeper. However, that large waistline was never going to stop him from enjoying domestic success twice. Number 12. Neville Southall. One of the greatest goalkeepers in English football history. Neville Southall played 747 games for Everton and is also the most capped player in most football history. Despite his obviously large frame and weight issues, Southall was named in the PFA Team of the Year 4 times and won the FWA Player of the Year once. This once again proves that abs can only take you so far in football. Number 13. Thomas Brolin. Yet another gifted player who had to fight fitness issues throughout his career. Thomas Brolin was a hot property due to his exploits at the 1994 World Cup. During the 90s, he enjoyed a lot of success, winning the Coppa Italia, UEFA Cup, Winners' Cup, UEFA Cup, and UEFA Super Cup, and even reached the semifinal of both the Euro 92 and 1994 World Cup with Sweden. Leeds United moved heaven and earth to secure his signing, and who can blame them, right? Unfortunately, Brolin got injured and continued to struggle with his fitness. Sadly, he was forced to retire from the game at the age of 28 and was named the second worst player in Premier League history. Number 14. Ferenc Puskás. No matter which way we put it, Ferenc Puskás is the greatest player of all time. The Hungarian was definitely not from this world and was at the forefront of Real Madrid's greatest era of dominance. Puskás had everything: technique, intelligence, accuracy, you name it. One thing that he did not have was that Puskás was never the hardest working player around, did not like to track back, and never used either his head or his right foot. In the last few years of his career, Puskás was overweight, but he was still unplayable. Without having abs or a toned physique, Puskás scored 616 goals at club level and 84 for the national side, won 10 league titles, 3 European Cups, and even reached the World Cup final, where he was the biggest star of the great Magyars. Number 15. William Falk. The reason why Fatty William Falk tops the list is because he was the fattest professional footballer of all time. A supremely large man, Falk was 6 feet 4 inches and towards the end of his career weighed 24 stones. To top it all off, Falk was a goalkeeper, so lack of reflexes and agility was compensated by an imposing presence between the sticks. He spent most of his career at Sheffield United but also represented Bradford and Chelsea. He played 355 games in total, won the First Division and the FA Cup twice. Sadly, he passed away at the age of 42, and to this day, the exact cause of his death remains unknown.